second graders. That's my sailor song because today we're going to be talking about making maps and drawing maps of imaginary places. Now, I know you were studying maps this year. You were making maps of the 5 boroughs, but today we're going to be creating maps of whatever place we want to create. It could be a fairy tale kingdom. It could be another planet. It could be, what else could it be? Some lost ancient civilization, some dinosaur world that time forgot. I don't know. This is your thing, okay? So let's look at some cool, crazy maps to kind of get us started. And then I'll just talk about how, some skills that you can use to make a drawing that looks like a map. All right? All right, mateys. This is a very, very old map that was found in ancient Mesopotamia. And this was what they thought the world looked like. This is thousands of years old. This is a map of Atlantis. Atlantis was a mythological place that was believed to have sunk into the sea. Here's an illustrated map that I thought was very beautiful. It's got all kinds of characters and details. And this is more of an illustrated map. It's almost like a landscape that just shows a lot of different places all together. Here is another illustrated map of Never Never Land from Peter Pan. And we see all the characters there. Here is a map of all the places from The Wizard of Oz. We've got the Munchkin Land and the Emerald City. And there are some characters that you didn't see in the movie, but they're also part of this map. So those are just a few examples to get us started off. And now let's think about how we can create our own illustrated maps of an imaginary place. So now it's time to make a map. That sound is my chair rolling. Sorry, neighbors. So how can we make a drawing that looks like a map? All right. Well, there's some things we need in our map. We need a title for the map. This is going to be a map of the lost land of Glub. That's the name of my map. That's what this place is going to be. Now, one thing we need in our map is the compass to tell us which way is which. And that is usually just kind of a cross shape with arrows on it. And the top, the up one is, do you know that one? North. The bottom one is south. The right one is east. And the left one is west, so that we know where we're going. All right, so I want to draw a shape that looks like a big piece of land. Let's say this is a small continent, maybe about the size of Australia. All right, so if you think about the shapes that you see on a map, the shapes of land, they're not like squares or triangles. They're not like bubbly shapes either. They're very uneven, right? So I don't even know what the shape is going to be yet, really. But I'm just going to try to move my hand in a way where I'm just making little zigs and zags. Sometimes I might go straight for a while with a little uneven parts, then I don't know. I'm just going to kind of let my hand move the way it wants. We would call this an organic shape. It's not like a shape that you can put a name on, right? Sometimes we look at maps and they might remind us of something like the country of Italy. People say that looks like a boot. Okay, is that kind of looking like a map? Now, one thing that sometimes happens is you have rivers, right? So you might want to show the water, because everything around the land is going to be water. The water goes in sometimes. Parts that stick out are called peninsulas. Like Florida is kind of like that. You might have a big area of water that goes in. Might call that a bay. Is this starting to look like a believable piece of land? Maybe. This is the land of Glub. And there are many things in the land of Glub, which I will start making up right now. All right, now inside, there we go. Would you believe if someone told you that was a piece of land, would you believe it? I'd believe that, but I'll believe just about anything. And maybe there are some smaller pieces of land. Little islands. You might have. Did you know that we live on an island? You know that. You learned that when you learned about the 5 boroughs. We actually live on an island. We live on a piece of Long Island. Us and Queens. All right, that's starting to look like something. Now, the land of Glub is a very strange place. There are different parts of it. One is a little kingdom. So I'm going to draw a little castle over here. So feel free to draw all the things that are in your imaginary place. This is going to be an illustrated map. So you can draw the things that are in there. So this is the kingdom of elves. The elves live there. And I've got this pointy, this is better for drawing details. So I'll draw a little elf that lives in the kingdom of elves. What other things could be in the lost land of Glub? Well, there might be different kinds of land there. So maybe there's a forest somewhere. I could draw a lot of trees, or just enough to show that it's a forest. This is Dinosaur Forest. Watch out for Dinosaur Forest. And what do you call a big body of water that's inside the land? Call that a lake. And maybe this is a lake where mermaids live. Mermaid Lake. It's just big enough for a few mermaids to live in there. And oh my goodness, could make up all kinds of things in this map, right? Maybe just show that there's water, some little W type shapes. But maybe there are terrible sea monsters that live in the water. That scare off travelers. This is a sea monster with wings. Here's a giant octopus. There's its head. And there's some of its arms coming out of the water. And maybe there's a volcano inside of the lost land of Glub. And a giant lives by the volcano. He just hangs out there all day long, kind of checking inside of it, making sure everything's all right inside that volcano. So there are just a few little ideas there. You can make whatever kind of imaginary map that you want to make. Let's see what you guys can come up with. As always, use whatever art materials you have. If you want to just draw it in black and white, you can do that. If you've got paints, you can paint them. And let's see what you can come up with. Okay, have a great week. Bye-bye.